Hi folks, Jude and Paul here, and today we're looking at using AI to interpret some photographs that we show it, and then using AI to give that description back and see what sort of photograph it generates, what sort of image it generates, and how that compares with the original photograph that we showed the AI. So Paul, what AI are we using first of all to show the image to?
We're going to use Anthropic's Claude, that's Claude 3, to show the image to see what it makes of it and get a text description of it. And then when we've got that text description from Claude 3, we're going to feed that back into dall-e 2 to produce an image from it, to see how that image compares to the original image and how it compares to Claude 3's description.
So this was the first image that we gave it, and we're not going to talk about this much because it came back with a very accurate description, didn't it?
It was spot on, yeah. It's what's called a stepper motor driver, and it gave a lot of context and where you might use it. It was really very accurate and very useful.
But what I found more interesting was when it misinterprets an image that you give it. So this was the first image that we gave it where it didn't accurately describe what it was seeing.
That's right. This was a photograph last summer of a bug that had landed on my sleeve. I was wearing a cardigan outside and this bug landed on my sleeve, and I thought, that looks very interesting, so I took a photograph of it.
I think you took a photograph at the time because you were using some sort of app whereby you could show it something and it would say what it was, like a leaf or a plant.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
So you were trying to identify the bug.
Yeah, I was playing around with some app on the phone, yeah.
So I'm going to read out now the description that Claude 3 gave for this image. This image depicts a powerful wave crashing onto rocks or shoreline. The main focus is on the dramatic texture and motion of the turbulent water. The wave itself is rendered in shades of deep blue and white, with intricate details capturing the swirling patterns and frothy nature of the churning water as it breaks. The colours are vibrant, showcasing the intensity of the wave's movement. In the centre of the image, a yellow-greenish object or form can be seen, appearing to be carried or swept along by the force of the wave. This object stands out against the blues and whites of the water, adding a contrasting element and a sense of movement or action within the scene. The background consists of additional waves or ripples in varying shades of blue, suggesting the continuity of the water's motion and the presence of successive waves. Overall, the image effectively captures the raw power, energy, and intricate details of a crashing ocean wave, showcasing the dynamic interplay between water and its natural forces. The use of colour, texture, and composition creates a visually striking and dramatic representation of this natural phenomenon.
It sounds very convincing. It's very poetic, but it's well off the mark. I mean, it's just a close-up of my cardigan sleeve, which has got admittedly swirly patterns in it because it's picking up the weave, and this sort of like greeny yellow brown, what is unmistakably, I would think,
bug.
An insect or bug. Yeah. So difficult maybe for Claude to interpret because there's a close-up and there's not much context, but I think no human being would mistake what that picture is for what Claude 3 came up with.
Yes, so we fed in that description from Claude 3 to, is it dall-e 2?
dall-e 2, yeah.
That is an AI that generates images.
Yeah.
And here's the first of the images that it generated from that description. So here it is. Well, you've certainly got the dramatic ocean waves there.
So dall-e 2 has correctly depicted the output from Claude as an ocean scene, a close-up of an ocean scene.
Yes, with the waves lapping on the rocks. Funny though, there's no green object there. It's just like some of the colour of the water is green.
Yeah, it's made the seawater look more like sewage water, hasn't it?
Well, actually, it's not too bad in this photo, but they get progressively worse.
More like sewage, you mean?
This is the next one. Actually, that looks like quite nice.
It's got the rock. It's got the rocks.
The green bits just look like the shade of the sea.
Yeah,
Sometimes it can look quite greeny, can't it?
And it's got the greeny brown rocks there.
And next image, we're getting a bit more seweragey.
Yeah, you wouldn't really want to be swimming in that sort of sea, would you?
Yeah, it's starting to look a bit toxic now.
It is, yeah.
But again, I can't understand why it's not shown an object. It's just shown like a different colour in the water.
It's got objects in the bottom right-hand side. It's got rocks, hasn't it?
No, but it says in the centre of the image, a yellow greenish object or form can be seen appearing to be swept or carried along by the force of the wave.
I would guess it's not depicting an object in dall-e 2 because Claude 3 didn't specify what that object was.
I know, but it's not an object. It's just like a colour. Anyway, we'll go on to the last image now. We've got the really gross
This
one.
one's disgusting. There's either an oil slick mixed in with the water or definitely solid raw
It looks
sewage.
like, yes, it looks like effluent.
I mean, it looks like fecal matter in the water there smashing into the rocks. So, yeah, there's the greeny brown object in the raging power of the sea.
That's not an object, is it? It's like...
Well, we're getting towards solid matter, so objects.
And there we have them side by side. Interestingly, the colour of the effluent is very similar to the colour of the bug.
It is, isn't it? And the background sea is a similar colour to my cardigan sleeve as well.
Not so much in this one. And there's no rock. You know, there's nothing that looks like it could be a rock or a rock colour in the original.
On my cardigan sleeve,
yeah.
Most interesting.
So this is the next image that we gave Claude 3.
It was a souvenir from Edinburgh, wasn't it? It's a, what do you call it, a snow globe?
Yes.
About 2 inches diameter with a cartoon bagpipe player inside it. And behind it, you put a Mother's Day card with some flowers on it.
That's right. So we gave this to Claude 3, and this is the description that Claude 3 came back with. The image shows a snow globe featuring a figurine of a young girl with curly black hair and a colourful dress resembling a traditional Mexican outfit. The base of the snow globe is decorated with images of the same girl and a cartoon-like character with a round face. The snow globe is surrounded by splashes of colourful paint or decorative patterns, creating a vibrant and artistic background.
Not a bad stab at it, really, was it?
Well, it certainly saw it as a snow globe.
Yeah.
Interesting that it interpreted that thing that they wear on the head is black curls.
Yeah, because it's the hat of a Scottish bagpipe player. It's one of those tall black fur hats, isn't it? But it is a little bit cartoon-like. Yeah, it's interesting, as you say, is it interpreted as black curly hair.
And interesting that it interpreted a kilt as a colourful dress.
Yeah.
Resembling a traditional Mexican outfit.
I wonder why it came up with Mexican.
Don't know. But let's have a look at the images that... Is it dall-e 2?
dall-e 2.
That dall-e 2 came back with.
From that prompt that Claude generated.
When we fed in this description that Claude had given.
Okay.
So here's the first image. I'm not sure what she's got in her hand.
I thought this was fab. In fact, I thought all the images that dall-e 2 generated this time were brilliant.
You know, obviously it's a snow globe.
Yeah, so it's got that right.
But this little figurine What's she got in her hand?
Well, she's
like-
definitely got the curly black hair.
Oh, she's got the curly black hair.
Looks Mexican in a sort of cartoon-like way again, especially with the dress. What she got in her hand, it looks like lots of black wool, or maybe is it a hair?
It's
Or
not hair.
it-
Looks like a bit of bin liner to me. Also, she's got pretty freaky eyebrows, hasn't she? What's going on with the eyebrows? It's like monobrow, isn't it?
Well, I think it's just a very roughly decorated figure of a Mexican girl.
Okay, so we'll look at the next image. How do you think this one is for Mexican likeness?
Pretty good again, I would say, in sort of the ethnic dress. Again, she's got something in her hands this time. Maybe it looks like flowers.
You think it's flowers?
Or some sort of food product.
To me, it looks like one of those pom-poms they have at, American football.
Oh, yeah.
What do they call them? Those girls that wave pom-poms about.
Cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders, yeah. It looks like something a cheerleader would have.
I'd see it as part of the ethnic costume that it's trying to depict.
What's these figures on either side?
A couple of indistinct ethnic figures, and I think probably meant to be behind the snow globe because they're being distorted by the lens effect.
Oh. So this next image, the first thing I think is, why hasn't she got any arms?
Are they not folded across the chest, maybe?
Don't look like folded arms to me, Paul.
Got the hair again, the black curly hair.
Well, it's not really curls, is it? She's got some two thick braids. So she's got the two thick braids. I'm not sure, does she look Mexican?
Sort of. Maybe in an ethnic costume type of way, vaguely.
Don't know what she's got on her head. It's like some sort of straw hat. But the lack of arms is odd. I don't know why it's done that.
Okay.
And this one, while she was putting a lipstick on, she like tripped. And
Put it on her nose.
And then it went on her nose.
Yeah, I mean, I said all these images.
In fact, what she could have in her hand there could be a handkerchief, a blue handkerchief with some rose pattern on. And she's just about to dab that lipstick off her nose.
Yeah. The reason why I thought these were fab images is that if this isn't a product that exists in Mexican souvenir shops, it could be. And dall-e 2 was thought of this by sort of extrapolating it from the Scottish piper in the snow globe. And I like that idea because it could be the suggestion for a new product.
Would anyone really want to buy this?
I think so, yeah.
She's got thick eyebrows again, like the first one. She's got a straw hat on as well.
And you've got the distorted flowers in the background, distorted by the lens effect again, which is pretty good.
She's got some funny mitts on her hands. They're sort of like white and red, which is rather odd.
You've got to say, though, that she doesn't look anything like a Scottish bagpipe.
I like a belt on this one, gone to the detail of that thick belt.
Yeah.
So let's look at one of the images they gave next to our original image. So there's the image that...
It's not bad.
It's certainly a snow globe.
I think a lot of people would have difficulty in recognising that as a Scottish bagpipe player from that one picture.
The thing is, though, I mean, it's got the Scottish bagpipe player from the side in the globe, and then underneath we've got a close-up of his face.
Yeah, I don't suppose it's tied the two things together.
That's right. Whereas a person, a human looking at this, you're taking the whole thing, don't you?
And you tie the two things together, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the last image that we gave Claude.
And that's a picture of an animatronic toy guinea pig which you've stripped back.
Yeah.
And then you're rebuilding up with stuffing.
Yes. So this is a project I'm working on. I wanted to make it a bit softer. So I've put some stuffing and felt around the plastic cover.
So it's just the frame of the guinea pig with this stuffing around it in orange felt.
Yes. So we gave this photograph to Claude 3.
Yeah.
And this is the description that Claude 3 gave us.
Okay.
This photograph shows a bright orange stuffed animal or plush toy in the shape of a caterpillar or worm-like creature. It has a fuzzy fabric exterior and several white plastic pieces protruding from its body, resembling eyes or other features. The plush toy appears to be resting on a woven or textured surface, likely a basket or mat. It's a quirky and playful item that seems designed for children.
Not bad.
I don't think a human would look at that though. I mean, a human might look at that and not sure what it is, but they wouldn't think it was a caterpillar.
No, that's true.
And I think a human would think that some of the plastic protrusions are legs.
Yeah.
And one is a head.
Yeah, that's right.
So we gave that description that Claude had
Generated,
to dall-e 2, and this is the first image that it came back with. First thing that strikes me about this is how dark the colour is. It's almost red.
It's
I think a more accurate description of the colour that the original item would be yellowy orange rather than bright orange.
Or a tangerine colour. But it's got the form right that Claude came out with. It's made a segmented caterpillar-like, worm-like object.
Where are the plastic protrusions?
There are none, are there?
That's odd.
Yeah.
Why is it not included plastic protrusions? Because it said several white plastic pieces protruding from its body, resembling eyes or other features.
Right, okay, the front face could be considered a white plastic protrusion with eyes on it.
That doesn't look like plastic to me. That looks like material.
I think you're nitpicking there. What's the next picture like then?
Again, no white plastic protrusions. And it's give it green antennae.
Strikes me as yellow, that, but...
Oh, you think it's yellow antennae?
It has got protruding legs again, though, although they're not white plastic.
Yeah, I mean, those are just part of the plush body,
It's
aren't
interesting that it's missing off this white plastic protrusion. I mean, a protrusion that is white is quite obvious what it means, but they're not on either of those pictures.
Interesting because, you know, with the other picture of the insect on your sleeve, it said there's an object in the middle, but didn't describe that object at all. And when it didn't really describe these plastic protrusions, was quite vague about it.
That's right, yeah.
And it seems like if there's any vagueness, then dall-e 2 seems to just ignore it.
Or deviate from it, yeah. Okay.
I like the big smiley face on this one.
And it's most definitely a worm again.
Well, caterpillar.
Caterpillar, yeah.
So here's the next one. Again, no plastic protrusions.
Pretty much like the last one, this, isn't it?
But what's on its head?
Green ears, maybe?
Strange.
With the red bow in its hair.
And what are those red things like coming out of its head, or the underneath of the head?
I think those are meant to be feet, aren't they? It's segmented again, and it's got like feet all the way along, like a caterpillar.
Yeah, but the other ones didn't have different looking feet coming out from the head, did they? It's almost like
it's a tongue combined foot, sort of foot and tongue.
I thought it was like is it mandibles you call them, like a spider has on the front?
Yeah.
Because there's two of them underneath the bottom of the head.
Yeah. So all these
very strange.
All these four images were similar to Claude's description, but Claude got the description wrong, so they didn't match. They don't match up to the original photograph.
But they also don't match Claude's description in the sense that it doesn't have these white plastic protrusions.
Yeah.
And also, why is this on a stripy sort of fleece blanket? There was nothing about that in the...
Guess it's had to put a context in. It's a kid's... Claude did say it was a kid's toy, and you probably find kids' toys on blankets in a house.
And why has it got like that wooden chair in the background that it's sitting on?
Maybe it's a blanket on a chair.
Yeah, but it's like dreamed all that up itself, and that wasn't in the text.
That's what AIs do. Filling in the blanks.
I mean, what it actually said in the text was, the plush toy appears to be resting on a woven or textured surface, likely a basket or mat.
Right.
Well, that's a blanket on a chair.
Okay.
So let's have a look at the last image.
Okay.
So here's the last one. This is interesting because it's give it stripes, sort of like a sort of tangerine, yellowy orange, and then a very sort of reddy orange striped.
To emphasise the segmented nature again, like a caterpillar.
And it's give it black antennae.
Again, it's on a woven surface again. It's got that
It's
right.
not on a woven surface. It's on a blanket.
Well, a blanket then.
It says woven or textured surface, likely a basket or mat.
I think you could get that passing as a mat, wouldn't you?
It looks more like a blanket to me, Paul. I think it's like you said, because it said it's a children's toy. They wanted to put blankets in.
Right,
or it's wanted to put blankets in.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the eyes on this one. It's given the caterpillar these sort of like 3-tone embroidered eyes that are really quite attractive.
Yeah, the white bit is of the eye is green and it's sort of iridescent, isn't it?
I think this actually looks like a really nice toy. And I don't think it, to me, this doesn't look like an AI image. It looks like a real toy.
Right.
I don't know if it strikes you like that.
It does really, yeah.
And it has got it in a basket. It's got a blanket in the basket, but it is you can see bits of the basket at the back.
So that's pretty accurate, that one you said.
Apart
from the
apart from the lack of plastic protrusions. And here's a photo of them side by side.
A considerable error there, isn't there?
Interesting, the wicker though behind.
Oh yeah, I've just noticed that. Yeah, it's the same, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
I suppose they both made out of fabric, and one hasn't
Very
got...
different sort of fabric.
Yeah.
I mean, it described that. That was another thing. It described it as fuzzy fabric, and it's not. It's felt.
Well, it is fuzzy though. Felt's fuzzy, isn't it?
Well, I think fuzzy's more like the caterpillar on
Which
there.
is plush, isn't it? Fabric, really.
Yeah.
But not a bad attempt, I don't think, really.
No, not bad. I would have liked to have seen some plastic protrusions. So, that about wraps it up for this video.
So that was playing around with Claude 3 by Anthropic and dall-e 2.
What do you think's the main things that we learned from this, would you say?
Let's see. I think the text in an AI text interpretation to a picture is pretty good, but an AI interpretation of a picture to text, a description of it, is a bit iffy.
Yeah. It's like it's easier to generate a picture from some text
than it is to generate text from a picture, which is
describe a picture
accurately.
Yeah. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I guess things in the world, vision, objects, they mean something to people in much wider context than they could do to an AI, because we are present in the world, aren't we, in a body? They're not. So objects are much more meaningful to us than they are to an AI.
So, folks, hope you found that interesting to some degree. Thanks for watching as always, and hope to see you next time.